Podcasts on unctv.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Most towns have a special little eating establishment that locals love to go to. In Mount Airy, not only do the locals know about a place called Snappy Lunch, its reputation extends well beyond the city limits, thanks to the Andy Griffith Show, a pork chop sandwich, and the fact that it's just been around for a long time.
Yes, it has. It's probably the oldest eating establishment in the same location in Mount Airy since 1923.
Well, it's been here as far back as I can remember, and that's been a long time.
You very seldom go anywhere in the United States that you don't run into somebody that if you mention name Mount Airy, they'll mention Snappy Lunch.
Snappy Lunch is one of our most popular attractions on Main Street. 90% of tourists that come into the visitor center, one of the first things they ask is, where is Snappy Lunch located? It's right next door to Floyd's Barber Shop, so those two attractions right there are two of our most popular spots while visiting Mount Airy.
What helped with that notoriety might have had something to do with its connection to Mount Airy native Andy Griffith and his extremely popular TV show.
Andy used to eat here as a child. He said he used to eat at Snappy Lunch, and he said when his mother had something to do, she would give him a quarter, and he would go to the movie, go to the Snappy Lunch, get a hot dog and a bottle of pop. It was mentioned on one of the shows. It was titled Andy the Matchmaker.
You on double date? You on two? I'm gonna take Miss Ellie to the picture show Saturday night. You and Miss Rosemary to go with us, and then after the show, we can go down to Snappy Lunch and get something to eat and some coffee. Want to?
And from what I understand, when Charles Dowell was watching that episode, he about went wild when he mentioned coming to the Snappy Lunch.
Charles Dowell bought the diner in 1951.
Are you ready to order?
He's retired now, but his wife and business partner Mary makes sure the food's as delicious as ever, especially his signature sandwich.
The word has gotten out. Pork chop sandwich, that's what people come here for. Pork chop sandwich is something Charles developed in the 60s as a pork tenderloin dressed with mustard, chili, coleslaw, onion, and tomato.
Charles, he was just the most amazing guy. Always in the window cooking the pork chop sandwiches. There's just so many iconic images of him cooking those the pork chops in the window.
I stood up there one morning and he was telling me all about it, what he was doing to perfect the sandwich. He started it, it just kept growing. It's known now everywhere.
Have a lot of people drive long distances just to get the pork chop sandwich.
Locals are lucky. They don't have to travel far to eat the sandwich that's been a part of their lives for decades.
I'm 44 years old, probably since I was in my early teens, you know. It's been a long time.
When she gets just a little bit bigger, we definitely will bring her up here. We brought generations to have the pork chop sandwich.
Now there's two things you need to know about the pork chop sandwich. They're big.
I always say you might want to split it with someone.
Have you had one of these yet?
No, I'm getting ready to after I'm done working.
Bless your heart.
And it's not the easiest thing to eat.
You have to have a lot of napkins.
It's messy, but it's good.
You know, a lot of people that come here will ask about what all goes on the pork chop sandwich. And Charles Dowell will tell you, make sure you order it all the way.
It's coleslaw, chili, fried pork chop, and tomato and mustard.
Everything we do on this pork chop sandwich, we make all of our stuff here, everything. We make our own slaw, we make our own chili, we make it all.
It combines for a delicious, delicious flavor.
The main attraction, however, is the pork chop.
It's like the best pork chop I've ever had.
We bread it with our own special batter, you know, that Charles invented. It's a mixture of sifted flour, eggs, milk, sugar, and water. And you know, it is stirred up, mixed up, and everything like that.
And first of all, it's baked, then it's browned up.
There's not a lot of fat to it and everything. You know, when I do the cutting of the pork chops and everything like that, I trim all the excess fat as possible away from them before I ever slice it again.
But what caps the experience off can't even be tasted, only felt, in the familiar surroundings that have become known simply as Snappy Lunch.
It's just the most homey, charming, rustic place that really defines Mount Airy.
I absolutely love it. I've been back 4 times. I've been here 3 weeks and I've been here 4 times.
You know, so I want them to just come away with a good experience. I want the tourists to see that Snappy Lunch is a nice place to eat and Mount Airy is a nice place to visit.
You can find the Snappy Lunch at 125 North Main Street in Mount Airy, and the early bird gets the food at Snappy Lunch. They open precisely at 5:45 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and they close at either 1:15 or 1:45 a.m. depending on the day. For more information, give them a call at 336-786-4931 or go online to visitmayberry.com.
Podcasts on unctv.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC TV.